We got a 92 Civic in for master cylinder replacement. As you can see, all that moisture down there on the brake booster, that is a sign of the master leaking. So we're going to be replacing that today. Alright, first what we're going to do is we're going to evacuate. We're going to suck out all the brake fluid that's in here, which isn't much probably because it's leaking. But we're going to try to suck out as much as we can. That way we minimize the leakage. So, yeah, we have this vacuum tool. We use this to evacuate the brake fluid. So, it's got this tube with a reservoir, airline to it, and we just see how this tool works. So we just vacuum it. Doesn't that remind you of a dentist? When a dentist is, when you know they have that tube sucking in your mouth. That's what it reminds me of. Is like that's what it reminds you of. Anyways, so that's that. So now we've evacuated all the brake fluid that's in the reservoir of the master. We can start disconnecting. That way we can minimize the amount of fluid leaking, brake fluid leaking. Alright, so now what we're going to do is try to get at the lines here, the 10 mils. So what we need is a open-ended flare nut wrench. Okay. Okay, that worked. Okay, it's loose. Good. Sometimes these are really corroded. You may need a torch, but this one's coming off. Okay, so let's try the next one. The inner one. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's loosened. This one's coming out really easily. Okay. Once it's loosened, just use a regular open end wrench. That way it's easier to just unscrew this. Alright, so that's out. Now we need to get the two 12 mils on the side here, and then we're able to remove this. So 12 mil ratchet. Check out the master cylinder. This is the new master cylinder in pack. Alright, that's the new master cylinder. Master cylinder. And it comes with these hoses and fittings to self-bleed, to bench bleed. So you put the fittings in here and you run the hoses back into the reservoir. Fittings back in the reservoir, and you have this on a vise and you pump this to bleed out all the air from the system. That way we can bench bleed this and get all the air out of the master, minimize the amount of air in the master before we install the lines. Alright, as always, compare your parts. So there's the new one and the old one. The ports line up the same. The angle here is lined up the same, because sometimes it's actually perpendicular, it's actually different, but these two look the same. So now we'll bench bleed this one. Okay, just gonna put our reservoir. We have our reservoir master sitting here on the bench. It's got our new cup, a strainer. Take these plugs out. Plugs out. Alright. These fittings in. Fittings twist right in perfectly. So we got our tubes here, tubes that comes with. So we just loop these tubes back in here, fill up the brake fluid. So let's fill up the brake fluid. So what we'll do is, oh, see how the bubbles come out? So fill the brake fluid. Okay, put our tubes back in here. And what we'll do is, we'll pump this. And you'll see the air come out. See the air come out of the tubes? We got a majority of the air out. Just little bubbles. Alright. That's it for bench bleeding. I think we're ready to install now. Okay. Oh, we gotta be careful now. So now when we go to push it, it's gonna push the plugs out. As soon as we try to push the plungers in. Okay, might as well. I'll take these out first. As soon as I try to push it back into place, it'll just push the plugs out, and then we'll lose the plugs. There we go. Alright, let's try to push it back in place. There we go. Whoops. So now our line is leaking. We're just going to put these 12mm nuts back in place first. Alright, let's thread these lines back in. And we're not leaking as much as we can. When you're putting these lines back in, you gotta be very careful that you don't cross thread it. So just work it gently. If you feel too much tension, then maybe back off a bit and start again. Just wiggle the line and turn the nut. Should be able to move pretty freely. Shouldn't have to use too much force. Yeah. The back one's going in nicely. Okay, let's see this front one. Be be very careful when using the wrench to tighten these. You don't really want to cross thread them. Okay, this one's going in, so it's okay. Yep, it's going in. There we go. We have the car up in the air now. We got our vacuum pump, the evacuator, hooked up to the bleeder. So we're gonna try to bleed the brakes here. What I'm gonna do is hop up into the car and pump the brakes, and we should see this line fill up. Alright, so we finally filled the line with fluid now. That means this line is good. Now we just gotta bleed the other sides. Alright, that's our video for our brake master replacement. So we bled the rest of the brakes and we went for a test drive and it was good to go. So thanks for watching. Hope this video helps.